At the top of this hour, the closing chapter, if you will, in the Gilgo Beach murders.
Rex Heuermann was given the maximum sentence for brutally murdering 8 women on Long Island between 1993 and 2011. He will serve 3 life sentences for first-degree murder, plus 25 years to life on 4 second-degree murder charges, all running consecutively without the possibility of parole. Yesterday's court hearing included statements from 13 family members of the victims, including Liliana Waterman. Liliana was just 3 years old when her mother, Megan Waterman of Scarborough, was killed by Heuermann. She spoke about the impact the case has had on her.
For so many years, this case has been a weight I carried every single day, a burden of unanswered questions, grief, and a sense that justice has not been served. Constantly having to look over my shoulder, making sure nobody was following me or trying to see where I was heading to. Today's proceedings do not erase what happened, and they do not bring her back. Nothing ever will. But today brings accountability.
Heuermann was also given the opportunity to speak at the hearing. He apologized and said he was responsible for everything the victims' relatives described.
There are no words I can say. I am responsible for what was said in this room today. The words I would say have no meaning.
You've been described as a very big man, but you're a disgusting and despicable small man, if you're a man at all. And you're a coward.
Due to the nature of his crimes, Heuermann will be kept in solitary confinement. The exact location of his facility has been kept confidential for security purposes, but we know he will be housed within the New York State prison system.
An update now on a fire that broke out yesterday afternoon at a farmhouse in Casco, injuring one person and causing some pretty major damage. It happened on Poland Spring Road, forcing crews to shut down the stretch of that road between Edwards Road and Webbs Mills Road. When they got there, they say the flames had spread through the barn, causing it to partially collapse. The fire then began spreading to the attached home. Firefighters say they were having issues with manpower and water supply. By 6 o'clock last night, they had the fire contained. One person was sent to the hospital and a firefighter was evaluated at the scene. Every animal except one cat was accounted for. At this point, it's not clear what started the fire.
The town manager of Machias is holding a special meeting today to discuss cost overruns in several department budgets, including police and fire. The fire department is projected to exceed its budget by more than $19,000 after a change in how volunteer firefighters are compensated, as well as unexpected equipment maintenance and unpaid bills carried over from last year. The police department is expected to run $32,000 over after a cruiser purchased in 2024 was never entered into the town's accounting system. The town's select board says it will consider using contingency funds to cover it, but would like the public's input. It's been 10 days since Election Day, and voters are eagerly awaiting some of the results. The Secretary of State's office announced yesterday, however, that they can't share that information just yet. Election workers are still focusing on the reconciliation stage, making sure everything matches. They say the process is tedious, and that's by design.
We want to make sure everything is there. So it's a time-consuming process. It's a meticulous process, but it's really important that everything is right so that when we hit go and we run that tabulation and we actually run the race and we know who the winner is, we can all be confident that it's accurate and it's the correct results.
The final stage of the process is called proofing. That's making sure these reconciliation numbers match the numbers in the computers that will run the tabulation. Workers will return to work this morning at 9.
One Mainer with a particular interest in the winner of the Democrat and Republican gubernatorial primaries is Rick Bennett. He has already qualified for the November gubernatorial ballot as an independent, and he's not waiting to find out who his opponents will be. Our Political Brew host Phil Hirschkorn caught up with him on the campaign trail already.
Maine needs a different kind of leadership, a leadership that focuses on results.
On a pleasant summer evening in a bucolic backyard in Portland, Rick Bennett is making the case for a governor not beholden to either major political party.
The problem is that for the last generation, politicians have put their parties ahead of the people. Winning the next election has become more important than solving the next problem.
12 years a state senator and a former GOP chairman, Bennett quit the Republican Party last year, shortly before launching this campaign.
The system actually thrives on conflict, not resolution. And the issues that matter most, housing, childcare, our economy, our schools, get lost in the noise.
Bennett says half of Maine families are having a hard time paying for the basics.
Buying a home, health care that's accessible, taxes that are reasonable, a job that supports a family.
He has already unveiled detailed plans to improve health care coverage, make child care more affordable, lower energy costs, and boost the housing supply while helping first-time home buyers with their down payments and mortgage.
You can ask the state to pick up a portion of that monthly payment in exchange for, when the house is sold, for a piece of that equity back.
Though Senator Bennett was a leading Maine Republican for 2 decades, he now espouses setting aside partisan politics as usual and valuing integrity over ideology. If we don't, Bennett warns, Maine can become as hyper-partisan and dysfunctional as Washington. In Portland, Phil Hirschkorn for News Center Maine.